Didactic Cafe, my Coffeehouse concept class and idea. Today we're going to kind of talk about some of the data and some of the research that says why Coffeehouse classroom and just classroom redesign in general might be beneficial for studying. We're going to interview a coffeehouse manager and a college student to kind of see how the coffeehouse environment affects their learning capacity as well. And we'll talk about some of the key elements of the classroom and just give a general idea and overview of the vision for this particular concept.
So I think people come to study here because it's a third place. The entire idea and concept of third place is it's not home, it's not where you go to work, it's not where you go to school. It is a place outside of all those things in which you make connections with. Be it the baristas, be it a drink, be it the music, be it the environment. All those things contribute to how you interact with the space. So if you're always having these positive interactions within the space, then of course you're going to come back there day in and day out.
Association refers to the fact that if you associate positive things with something, you're more likely to learn.
Okay, I just prefer the coffeehouse environment just because, when I'm studying, I like to keep the atmosphere just kind of fresh. So whenever I tried to study at the library, it was just kind of mundane and lacked really much scenery. It was kind of felt like a sterile environment. But no matter what coffee house you go to, if it's Sweets or Mudwalls or Lupa's, I think it's all like a environment where there's always people moving around you, and then there's if you want to take a study break, you can get a drink or something. But overall, it's just the more of a homey environment than a library, and I appreciate that.
Smells is specific, but it could refer to senses in general.
So regarding the smells of a coffee house, I think it goes back to the environment and feeling a little bit more like home, I guess. So personally, I just think whenever I smell coffee, it reminds me of the morning. And in my opinion, the morning is a time where you have the day ahead of you, where you can just focus on getting stuff done. And I think that's just where I'm most productive.
So a fun little fact or study tip is that you can use smells or places to help you remember things. One trick is if you pop a peppermint in every single time you start studying, and then when you go to take a test, pop the peppermint again, and from association and from your brain putting that those memories and all those topics and everything on the peppermint, then you might actually remember a little bit more.
I think I feel more comfortable in coffee houses, and they just offer more comfortable options just because they normally have just a variety of seating, a variety of places that you can study, whether you need a quiet corner or you want to be around a group of people. They offer both, and just it's less formal than a library, and I don't think there's necessarily needs to be any formality in a couple hours of studying.
So seating is and can be kind of an issue. I mean, if you're in a really crowded space, you don't feel at home. You don't feel like you can stretch out. You can do whatever you want to do. Here, it does really matter. I mean, if you have a small cafe table, you won't have to use all of the cafe space. I mean, we even design and try to facilitate the entire store so that people can come in, come out, and then the people that are sitting here at the tables aren't bothered as much, and they can do all the work they need to do or congregate and hang out with friends without bothering the other customers or even interrupt the flow of other customers coming in and out.
So you'll notice that the lighting in the coffeehouse room is a little bit more sedate. It's calm. It's peaceful. It's not going to be the stark white fluorescent lights. It's going to be a more natural type of light and more calming and peaceful type of light. That's on purpose. We want people to feel relaxed. We want people to feel at home. As I've been talking, maybe you've heard the thud, thud, thud of the basketball court that's above me. So a way to counteract that is that when students are doing work time, rather than having the thud, thud, thud of basketball over their head, we're going to pipe in subtle, quiet coffeehouse style music that will kind of be playing over the background. That masks the sound, but it also creates sort of a familiar environment and a comforting environment. Studies do show that music is actually helpful if the song is familiar enough that you're not struggling to figure out what the words are. It's not a distraction. If you're a teacher in the 2000s, you probably have students who have phones. Now, if you like phones, that's great, but if they're a distraction for you, you wonder why they were ever allowed in the classroom in the first place. Our district is a BYOD district, bring your own device district. That means students are going to have phones. So rather than fight that, I've decided to embrace it and make technology not a distraction, but a tool to encourage and extend the learning. We're creating daily hashtags in our classrooms, putting it out where students can tweet, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever they want to do with a hashtag. So for instance, for the open house that I'm having, it's hashtag didactic cafe. But each day for sociology, there'll be a hashtag. For debate, there'll be a hashtag. And the idea is for students to share this out, possibly as an exit ticket, so that they can get the learning going outside of the classroom and have a practical use for having their device in the classroom. Goal number one of the Coffeehouse concept was to create a place of respect and a place for people to relax. Already, since I've begun working on this project and I've brought couches in and chairs and changed the lighting, when people come in, people just want to sit and talk. People feel relaxed and people feel comfortable. That's the goal of this. If students are relaxed, if students feel safe, if students feel respect where they're at, then learning becomes not only possible, learning becomes powerful. And that's the goal of the Coffeehouse Concept Classroom.